Hi everyone, welcome back to Engineering Space, where engineers break the border of engineering. In this time, we're gonna learn how to import points through Excel files, and we shall continue our first lesson on the way to use Dynamo in Civil 3D. So, let me just open the Civil 3D, and then as usual, go to Manage and then Dynamo. So after the window was appear, we create new files here because we're gonna importing points through Excel files. So we need to define the node to execute the points through the Excel files. So just type in the library import Excel. Alright, so we have two options here. The first is import Excel and the second one is open XML import Excel. We're gonna use the second one, open XML import Excel. So just click it, and in our workspace the node will appear. So as you can see here, we are mandatory to provide the other one node. That the first is file path and the sheet name. So we need to provide it. As you see in there are a red color in the side of the node. File path representing the Excel workbook, which we're gonna use to defining which one of points we're gonna import. So let me just type here file path, yeah, and then put it here, and then the sheet name. Basically we then need to define which one categories in our Excel files we're gonna use to importing the points. So here basically if you open the Excel, we have another option here. The first is the sheet 1 and sheet 2 and the last sheet 3, or you can add more than what you need. So because it's like not numbering, so we're gonna use the sheet file here, the sheet name using the string to defining our sheet, and I just put it here. The main function of string is to define the library, to define the nodes or the code through sentences or context. Okay, let me prepare some points to import through the Excel file. So let me just find the interesting Excel file that show the points to be imported in our project. So let me open the files. We go to here, and then we just importing the files, and then if you want to open it in another app, absolutely we could do it. So let's try to figure out the first look of our coordinates. And yeah, okay, the current point are like this, and then as you see the XYZ and then name point to through, we have 145 points, and we're gonna import it all of these points through our Civil 3D project. And if you see, we have the MYPT sheet name, so we should write this sheet name on our project, string MYPT, and connecting it to the sheet name, and then the file path connect to here. Alright, So the next step we should do to define the point is by creating or transposing those points using this transpose, sorry, here. Basically, if you see the window, the original node name is list.transpose. We use to sweep rows and column in a list of lists, because as you see in our Excel files, we have several points in the row number, and we're gonna define it to a file that gonna be understand by the Dynamo app. So just connecting it here, and then after that we need to get the points through the Excel files, and as what the previous lesson we have prepared for you, we need the item. Alright, yes, this one, to get item through the points, and just connecting it here. Let we see the index. Yes, we should also entering the step to be imported in our points. Let's say we're gonna use one, and of course after you take the item through the Excel file, you need to create the coordinates here. So maybe here we use it for y, and then let's say we need further preparation or file. Here we need the second one. This is maybe 0, and the other one we just provide the third number. Just wait a minute. Yeah, so you can have it with you. So here the one, and here are second. So if you're connecting it here and here, basically we already importing the point, but we don't know the result. I also don't know how the result will looks like, so we need to run it here. Okay, we just gain the points here, but we have some trouble here that let me see the result through the watch, expanding it a little bit so you can have a better view. And as you see, we not got data through the 0, and it's not null, but this is not the important trouble we should avoid it. And the only trouble are here that our first row is not defined by number directly, but showing string. So let's say we just step out here and then try to importing it again. And we should also understand the points that we are importing here are the 2D or not 3D format of points. So we can just let it go and keep it 0 or any, but let's say we're gonna use one file and then have another view of the points, and you see the coordinate that we heard it here. I also don't know how the view looks like. Let's say we're gonna yeah, as you can see, we are already creating and importing the points through the Excel file, and the view are like this. Wait, maybe you can have better view. Okay, it's look like it's sunflower. So this is the way we use how to importing the points to the Excel files. And if you want to finish it up, we can create another way to importing the Excel point and creating what we call as code block. The code block basically use the way to minimizing and keep simpling the notes that look so really crowded on our workspace. So if you want to save as previous lesson, if you want to save it our workspace, just go to the right corner here and then save the workspace. Let me save it as node of sunflower, like this maybe. Sunflower city without code block. And then let's just export the background 3D preview. The sunflower city points, and then now we want to trying to, and that's what we call as the code, and starting to defining the use of code block directly here. So if you want to understand more about the use of code block, you may put here or right click here and then type code block. So we're just trying to defining everything into a code, so it will be more simple for the way to use Node or Dynamo. Let's say we want to importing the file through, let's say we want to importing the coordinates through Excel point and then using code block. So the first thing we need to the px or coordinate of px, and then py, the px1. I want to give you a simple example about the way to use code block. Then pz equals to 6 maybe, and then we need the point by coordinate. So basically, if you want to define some code through the library in the left side, you just type it, but remember using an uppercase in the previous sentence, right? So you want to importing the point by coordinate like what we see here, so just type it here as similar like what we see in here. So you can see that the first sentence using the uppercase, so it's also similar here. If you want to importing that library code, you need to use uppercase P and then point, as you see here, enter, or point dot by coordinates, and including the px, py, and point z, and up here. So if you run it, we're gonna get the point here. Basically, you can see behind or the downside of this our previous point through Excel files will appear. Sorry, let me transpose it right here, and if we zoom in, we get a small point here. If you want to see the result, let's say we want to see the result of this thing right here. Let's connect it right here, and you're gonna see result. The point x equal to 1, y to 2, and z to 6. Now the question is it possible to importing the points from the Excel files through the code block? The answer is, of course, for sure, we can do it. So let's try to define the way to use importing points here. Yep, okay, this the result of our point previously. And let's back to our workspace. And as what we said previously, is it possible to importing the points from Excel files through the use of code block? Definitely the answer is for sure, we can do it. And you just need to write down or type once again everything, the nodes here into the code block. But maybe you get some chaos or something that make you a little bit confused about the way to use code block. So I will give a further explanation the way to use code block once again, especially how the X point and Y and also the Z points are defined. Let me see you something interesting thing here. Let's say we type here the PX and then PY and so px equal to 0 double points and then 10 double point and 1 and up. So if I run this code block, you're gonna see the result that will give a list of numbering from 0 to 10 with the step using one step in every number. Let's try to run it. Yeah, as you can see here, you can see the list of number. Just wait a minute. Here, from 0 to 10 with the step is 1. And also, if you go to watch, you'll also see the result here as 0 to 10 with step ladder of the point or number is 1. Okay, let me try to see the another option that we can use in the code block. Let's say we want to porting the coordinates to the number kind of like look like this. So let me type here the px again, and then you see the differences between the previous. Wait a minute, so you can have a better view here, right? So the different things, if you want to find the px, py and pz, it's gonna similar like the left side and the right side in your window. The way to use the bracket on defining the px, py and pz, and then also the way to not use the bracket to define px, py and pz. The point x, the point y and point z basically are same. So if you want to try type more, or maybe you just not a busier one like me, just type like this using a bracket, but you are quite busy, it's okay, just typing the point x, but don't forget to defining it later. Let me try the other one. Px, py, p point z, and then defining the px point, the px point equal to, maybe let's say we're gonna use 20, from 20 to 30 with step R2. Close it, and let we define the point y from 0 to 10 with step is 2. And last, let we define the point of z equal to Let's say maybe we're gonna use 7 trick 20 with step R2. Close it. If you run it, let's say we're gonna use watch to simplify this point. So you're gonna get the data. It looks like this. Oh, wait. If you want to combining it with the way to show the code, just put it here. I mean, like, let's redefine the px here into the x point of here, or maybe if you just wait a minute, if you want not to confuse, a little bit confused, just type in the curly block point by coordinates. Yeah, we forget to enter in the point by coordinates, so just type here point by coordinates. Let's run it again. Oh, sorry, don't forget to define px, py, point y, and point z. Hit run and you got the list of points that are already shown in this figure below. If you want to see the better view, let's see it on watch and then run it again, and you're gonna see the point that we import will be appear here. From the x start from 20 to 28, and the y point start from 0 to 10, and the z point start from 11 to 20. Well, I think this the introduction, the way to use code block in the Dynamo project. So next we're gonna learn how to importing all of this necessary point, or how the way you use to importing the Excel points into the Dynamo through the code block. Let's move this thing into another space here. Okay. For better result, let's fix it a little bit. Okay, so the way to importing the Excel points using code block, we should define everything, all of this previous node. Let's say this is our nodes. Wait a minute, let's take a group as importing points through Excel file using library node in Dynamo. Importing points. Importing points. Importing points through Excel files using node block. And let this I just create let this I will create a group so we can have introduction into the use of code block. All right. Okay, as you see here, we just creating a group so we can have better combination, and let we change the colors. Maybe something that not necessary, but yeah, it will give you a better way to view the crowded nodes in your workspace. So let's continue to how to importing the Excel file through the code block. Let's right click here and type code block, and then on the code block node, the first thing we need is to finding the file path. So I just type here file path, and then we need also the sheet name, and then the star column, and maybe the star row. So it also to rearranging the string. Let us start to defining the file path, the place that we want to importing, or the place where we importing the Excel files. So we start by typing file path equals to, we just go to here, and you're gonna see the position of the file here. Wait a minute, let's just browse it, and we just copy it here. And what is the important thing you should understand. If you want to defining the place of the file, we should use double slash, so it will be defined the way or the place where the file are imported. It's here double slash. Wait a minute. The differentiations, user, documents, Dynamo, cargo point, and don't forget also include it with the name of the file. So if you back again, and we're gonna see the file name here, GPN Sunflower City /mypt xlsx. Copy it and put it here, and up. And then now we have defining the file path that we're gonna use, or we're gonna importing the points to our workspace. So we need also defining the sheet name. So the sheet name will be equal to what the name of the name of the sheet in our Excel file. In the previously we using mypt as our sheet name, so just typing here the sheet mypt or my point, and then the start column to defining where the file will be started or the point are starting. So the start column basically we use equal to 0, because definitely starting the point in the 0 position in the Excel files. Equal with the star row, we use start from 0 to, and again don't forget to put punctuation in the last of the code. So here, okay, and if you want to defining that, we need a string file that will be equal to false, and then the service data / data open XML import Excel, the file path, and then the sheet name, also star row, star column, Okay, there is, sorry, here should not be. So after that, we need to open the XML import Excel command by using ds office data, and then point with open XML import Excel. You have option here, just type it, open XML import Excel, and open the bracket. So you're gonna see the way to use this command or this code. You need to define the file fate that we was defined previously, and then after that the sheet name in the string format, and then star row, star column, and read as string. Alright, let me just type where we have what we have done here, and then sheet name as string also, and also here they are requiring start from row first. And then star column and read as a string boolean for sure, then close it. Let me try to run it. I think it was enough. Okay, as you see here, okay, if you see we get an error here that's showing that failed to importing the data. After I cross check, we just defining that the trouble we are faced are not using this punctuation between the way to defining the string here. So don't forget to put punctuation twice like this, and here. So okay, hopefully everything will be okay. Yes, everything will be okay, and we can see the result here. As you can see in the list drop down below, we got the point that we need to be imported. And this is not the end of the way to use it. We need also the further definition of the code. We just got a success to importing some point that we need. So after we are correctly defining or importing the points or the data through the Excel file, the next point is we need to defining the other things. After we are successfully importing the data through Excel file, we need also to finding the point. So in the next code block, we need to also transporting the list of the file. As you can see in our previous code notebook, here we are transporting the data after we successfully importing the Excel files. So we need to also here to transport it. As what I said previously, if you want to defining or inputting the library code, the important thing you should understand is using the uppercase in the previous or in the first beginning of the code. This transpose from, okay, I just forget it here. Here we need to define it what we are importing as something that will be understand by the system. So I just type here as data import will be equal to here, and then in the list the transpose just type data import like this, close the code, and then after that you need to get the item through the index file after you transposing the data from the Excel files. So just type here the point of X as what we've previously learned. Wait, can I get some guided here? Yeah, this one I need. Take the data from transpose list, start from 0, and then just end up point y with equal to get item at index, and then transpose list start from 1, and then the pz point get item, wait, I just use space maybe here, yes, get it here, through transpose list number start from 2. And after that, the last thing that we're gonna use is the point by coordinates for sure. It will be start from px, py, point y, and point z. Just end up it here, sorry, and just hit the run. And I think this was the block code we need to defining how to importing the Excel file. And yeah, and let we starting from here, we are using file path here, and it will be equal here file path, and then sheet name we using the sheet name mypt, and then until we successfully importing the file through here, and then we continue it with using list of transpose through the code we call transpose list here, and then defining the position of the point x to the z point, and just put the point by coordinate. So let me see the result. If I hit run, and then it will be appear like this. The z point will not appear due to our point position are not defining in 3D points. So maybe you can use, maybe you can erase it here, so it will be looks like better view. Let's see. Okay, no problem, it will be same as usual. We just need to understand the way to use it here, and then put it here. Okay, no problem. And the last piece it. Okay, say the run, and then you're gonna see the result. If you want to see the result in the watch file, just type it here and then run again, and you can see the result are similar with what we have previously too. As you can see, these are the result we are importing the point through the coordinates. It looks like the sunflower. And yeah, I think this is the way that we want to use the code block. If you want to use code block to simplify the way we creating a code in Dynamo, and it will make us more easier to see and not crowded point or the crowded code block. Code block of importing Excel. Okay, so maybe that's all for this time. We continue in another videos. Thank you. Watch also the previews and the next lesson. See you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.